second figure will have more advantages. Okay, it will have more advantages compared to the first figure. Means the revolving field will have more advantages compared to compared to what? Compared to the revolving armature. Okay. So once again, with coming to the revolving field, once again here we have what silent and non-silent pole. If you see this figure, we have silent pole. We have silent pole, and likewise we have what non-silent pole. Non-silent pole or cylindrical rotor. Okay. Now, so here we are very much interested with the designing designing the field winding of a silent pole alternator. Okay. Okay. Now I'll continue this one. In order to design field winding, this design of field winding will be similar. What we did in DC machine, almost similar. Only a few things will be just a few things will be changing. Okay. In order to design field winding of exciter voltage must be known. So we want to excite the field winding. That voltage we should know, and everyone knows that around 50% is wasted. 50% of your exciter voltage is wasted due to the copper loss in the field winding. And the exciter voltage varies between 50 volt to 400 volt. And this is usually specified by the customer. However, the voltage of 120 volt is used for small and medium phase machines, while an exciter voltage of 250 volt is used for large phase machine. Normally, where in the generation plant, where we have huge alternator, in that we are going to use around 250 volt for exciting this field winding. And field winding should be generally designed for 80 to 85% of exciter voltage. Normally, the 15% will be wasted due to the copper loss in the field. Okay. Let VE be the exciter voltage, and voltage across the field coil EF. Everyone 0.8 to 0.85 into VE means around 80 to 85% you have to take. 50% will go the regarding losses of high square or loss in the field winding. 0.8 to 0.85 VE divided by P. So P is nothing but number of poles. This is what voltage across the field coil. Voltage across the field coil of a single with respect to the if you have, suppose if you have number of here you have 4 poles. So this equation represents what with respect to, it will give what? It will give the voltage across a single field coil, or with respect to a single pole. Number of field coils will be equal to number of poles. Okay, if number of field coils will be number of poles. If you have 6 poles, you have 6 field coils. If you have 12 poles, you have 12 field coils. Okay, interesting. And you can see here, we can see this is nothing but the pole, and along with this nothing but pole. If a pole means if you see the pole, it's nothing but a lamination. Earlier I told it will be similar like a lamination, and it will be bolted together. I will have a pole. So directly after laminating after bolting each lamination, directly with respect to that one, will not going to wound the winding. So we have to give some certain things like what we call as a flange and spool. Means we have to use certain directly you can't wound on the poles. So we have to before going into the wounding the field coil, we have to use these things. What you call as a flange, what you call as a spool. And above that, we have to go into wound the field winding. Okay, so we know that HPL is the height of the pole. Height of the pole means entire from ear to ear, considering the pole shoe also. We know that HPL, the height of the pole. From this, we subtract the height of the shoe. This is nothing but your height of the shoe. And the thickness of the spool. Spool is nothing but the ear. You can see here. You can see this is a flange, and this part you got one more section here. No, this part is called as a spool. Okay, this part is called as a spool, and this is called as a flange. Okay. We subtract the height of the shoe, this is something called height of the shoe, thickness of spool, flanges, etc., and the space left in the winding will be HF. So if you the remaining part, after this remaining part, what are the space left in nothing but will be the height of the winding. Along with that, we have here also between the layers, we have what we have insulation also. Okay, so from ear to ear is the left for the winding space. Height of the winding. So height of the winding HF is nothing but what? HPL, nothing but height of the pole, minus H1, minus the pole shoe, minus space taken by the spool, flange, etc. Spool, flange, and even insulation, etc. The space taken up by the spool, flanges, etc. is approximately 20 mm. So along with the spool and the flanges, along with that insulation, that will be account for 20 mm. Okay. A suitable value is assumed for depth of the field winding. So depth of the field winding means nothing but your DF. Okay, this is nothing but your DF, depth of field winding. A suitable value should be assumed depending upon the pole pitch. Using the depth of the field winding, will be assumed from 0.03 to 0.05, or you can 30 mm to 50 mm you can assume. 0.03 meter or 0.05 meter you can assume. That depends upon what? That depends upon once again the pole pitch. For pole pitch of 0.1, the winding depth will be 25 mm, 0.2, 35, 0.4, 45. So once again the pole pitch depends upon the number of poles. If more number of poles, definitely the pole pitch will become narrower. Okay. Based on that, they are going to assume the winding depth. Suppose if they are not given winding depth, these are the things they are going to make assumption. As usual, everyone knows that mean length of midterm of field coil is estimated from the dimension of the pole and depth of the field winding. I think I have talked a lot about these things. Length of midterm LMT is something about 2 into LP plus BP plus 4TA plus 5TA. Okay, this is length of midterm. Where TA is something about thickness. Thickness is something about, you can see here, this is thickness. 4TA means 2 times for width and 2 times for length. So what you got is nothing but here. 4TA, 2 lengthwise, 2 breadthwise, and 5 into DF. 5 into DF means when you consider all this section, this arc section, it will become a circle, and it will become a circle. For Minton, is something but what? For Minton, length of Minton, this is exactly DF by 2, because DF is something but depth. For length of Minton is exactly DF by 2. And if you take, if you join this 4 section, it will become a circle. For circle, circumference is pi d, and here pi d or 2 pi r. R is something about what d5 by 2 to get cancels. Then what you left with? You left with pi into df. Okay, these things I already taught you. Okay. Now, sectional area of the conductor is calculated from the full load field ampere turn, length of mean turn, and the voltage across each coil. So, sectional area, sectional area, you can calculate. Okay, depend upon the full load ampere turn, full load field ampere turn, length of mean turn. So, this is RF, resistance of field coil. RF is equal to O into TF LMT by AF. Or AF can calculate, everyone knows this formula. AF is equal to rho into LMT, EF into ampere turns ETF. This is nothing but what is sectional area of the conductor. Sectional area of the conductor. So after finding out AF, you can calculate what? You can calculate the field current. And to calculate field current, AF is equal to what? Delta F into AF. So okay. Always, if you want to calculate density, nothing but what? Current by area, you can use that formula. So current density of field conductor always lies between 3 to 4 ampere per mm square. Okay, these are things. So once you know density, you can calculate what? You know AF, and you can calculate IF. Number of turns in the field coil can be calculated from the full load ampere turns and the field current. So when you know ampere turns, TF is equal to what? Ampere turns divided by IF. Okay, this is the number of turns TF, something about ampere turns. AT is nothing but ampere turns. This can be transport. TF into IF. Okay. If I know IF, if I know the ampere turns, I can calculate what? I can calculate the TF. Okay. Ampere turns AT is something about what? Ampere turns AT is something about what? TF into IF. So if I know ampere turns and if I know IF, I can calculate what? I can calculate the number of turns of the field coil. And the copper loss at 75 degrees centigrade is given by what? QF is equal to IF square RF. And this loss is dissipated by the field coil, and therefore you must check that temperature is within the limit. So dissipating surface of the coil, you have to consider for all the surface, outer surface here. Dissipating surface of the coil is equal to 2 LMT HF plus EF. So 2 LMT HF means this is HF. LMT means for upper surface LMT. Likewise for bottom surface LMT, 2 LMT HF and 2 LMT DF. Once again. 2 LMT DF means here LMT into DF for upper surface, LMT to DF for bottom surface. So what we got here? 2 LMT into HF plus DF. So dissipating surface of the coil. So we'll consider that more dissipation takes place outside surface plus the top surface and bottom surface, and exactly at this point, what we'll have a pole, whether it may be a square pole or it may be a rectangular pole, and we're not considering the large dissipation inside surface. In some other problems, we didn't simply we are taken into consideration there, but here we are now taking into consideration here. Inside what? Inside surface. We're neglecting that part. So dissipating surface of the coil, you're considering 2 LMT into HF plus DF. Okay. These are the procedure to design the field winding of a sequence machine. Very much important one. So normally they'll ask the design of field winding. Very rarely they'll ask a problem. We are going to solve two problems. Very important problem from A.K. Sawhney. This problem is an important problem from A.K. Sawhney. Suppose if they ask any problem from field design, this will be the problem. Now let us go. A field coil of silent pole alternator are wound with a single layer winding. Means with respect to the pole, with respect to this pole, they are wound only with a single layer. Single layer means if you see a cut section here, this is something about 3 layer, 1, 2, 3 layer. This is for reference I am showing you. This is single layer means only this layer. Means along with that pole, they are going to wound only the single layer. Okay, single layer. Single layer bare conductor strip of 30 mm deep with separating insulation of 0.5 mm thick. Whenever you talk about a cross section means, if you talk about the cross section of a conductor, if this is a conductor, whenever you talk about the cross section area, area of the conductor, always you talk about this width and this height. L will not come into consideration. Cross section means it will be always this width and this height are a thickness. Okay. So what in the problem it says? It says that a single layer winding with a bare copper strip of 30 mm deep. So bare copper strip of 30 mm deep means always width will be larger compared to the height. So 30 mm deep. So width will be what? 30 mm deep. Okay. And a separating insulation of 0.15 mm thick. This is nothing but insulation. If you come to here, if this is width, see here. If this is width and this is height, this is thickness. So always there will be insulation. Always there will be insulation at this point and also at this point. If you go for once again double layer or triple layer, always there will be insulation at this spot also and here also. Okay. So what you can have, so for that copper strip, we have a separating insulation of 0.5 mm thick. So width wise and height wise, we'll have some insulation with respect to the copper strip. Determine the suitable winding length, number of turns, and the thickness of conductor. Thickness of conductor is nothing but what? Thickness or height. You can see here. Thickness or what you call as a height of the conductor. Along with that, you can determine what length. Length means winding length. How much you are going to wound. That length you have to find out. And you have to find out the number of turns and the thickness of the conductor to develop a MMF of 12,000 ampere with a potential difference of 5 volt per coil, and with the loss of 1200 watts per meter square of a total coil surface. Okay. The mean length of the turn is 1.2 meter. The residue of the copper is 0.021 ohm per meter and mm square. This problem I have taken from A.K. Sawhney, very much important problem. So let us solve for what? A suitable winding length, number of turns and thickness. Okay. First find out the sectional area of the conductor AF. So this is the formula rho LMT DFIF by EF. Okay, so put all the values here. LMT is given, ampere turns is given 2000 amperes, and EF is what is given here, 5 volt per coil. So 5 volt you put it. Then what you get a sectional area? Sectional area is something but what? 60.4 mm square. Means this is sectional area. This is here sectional area 60.4 mm square. So what you got here? Width into height. So from that width into height, you can calculate what? You can calculate what? Height of the conductor. So height of the conductor you can calculate here. Width I already got it. Width is given as what? 30 mm deep. So height I can calculate. So height of the conductor is nothing but the area. Okay. Cross sectional area of the conductor 60.4 divided by 30. 30 is something but what? 30 is something but your width. So if you come to this figure, the cross sectional area what you got now? The cross sectional area of the conductor you got at 60.4. We know this width 30 mm deep. What I can calculate? I can calculate height. Okay. So height of the conductor is something about cross-section area of the conductor divided by your divided by the width of the conductor. So 60.4 divided by 30, then what you get here? 2 mm. So height of the conductor now. This is if you consider this as cross-section area of the conductor, height of the conductor will be what? 2 mm. Okay, height of the conductor. Total heating dissipating surface S is equal to 2 LMT HF plus DF. Okay. So 2 into LMT is given 1.2. HF is what here? HF plus DF. DF is what is given? DF is nothing but what? DF is something but depth of the field winding. So depth is nothing but what? This is the depth. This is what? This is total depth. Whether you go for what? A single layer, 2 layer, 3 layer. So this will be a depth. So since you are taken as a single layer, so this corresponds to depth. Okay. Since you are going for only single layer, so whatever you got here, that 30 mm deep. That will be what? That will be your depth of the field winding. Okay. Depth of the field winding here. This will be what? Your depth of the field winding. Okay. That is 30 mm deep. You can put it here. HF plus DF is nothing but what? 30 mm is converted to meter 0.03. 2.4 HF plus 0.27. Okay, this is nothing but what? Height of the field winding. We have to calculate what height of the field winding HF we have to calculate. This is height of the conductor. Don't confuse here. This is height of the conductor, individual conductor, height of the conductor. Height of the HF is nothing but what? Height of the field coil means here. This is the height of the field coil you are going to calculate. Okay. 2.4 HF plus 0.272. Then what you got here? 2880 HF plus 86.4. That is what total loss dissipated. 1200 per meter square. And this is nothing but the heating heat dissipating surface. What you got? This is nothing outer surface, top and bottom. That we are going to consider here. Total loss dissipated QF is equal to what? 1200 into 2.4 HF plus 0.272. Then what you got here? 2880 HF plus 86.4. Also, field current IF is equal to what? QF by EF. Substitute for QF here and you solve this one. What you got here? 576 HF plus 70.3. Okay, use field current IF into TF. Field MMF is nothing but what? Your ampere turns IF into TF. So what is IF here? IF is substitute for IF here. 56.HF plus 70.3 into TF. So IF into TF is something but what? Your ampere turns. Something but your ampere turns. So 576 HF TF plus 70.3 TF is equal to 12,000. This is your equation 1. Come here. Height of the occupied conductor. Height of the conductor is what? You find out the height of the conductor. Height of the individual height of the conductor. What you got the height of the conductor is nothing but 2 mm. So 2 mm with a separation insulation of 0.0 mm thick. So height of the conductor means here for the width wise or depth wise, we should have what? We should have intake insulation. Width wise and height wise, we should have what? We should have insulation. So for what is the insulation here? Height occupied by the conductor 2 plus 0.15. It will be insulation 2.15. Okay. Now height of the field coil. So this is what? Height of the conductor. Height of the conductor. This is nothing but height of the conductor and height occupied by the conductor 2 plus 0.15. So this is 2. Okay, this is 2 plus 0.15. 15 is nothing but what? 0.15 is nothing but the insulation. This is 2. After that, there will be what? There will be some insulation. Okay. Total will be how much? 2.15. Total height will be 2.15, including the insulation. Okay. Now this is the conductor, and this is the conductor. So total height will be what? Total height. This will be total height here. Total height. So this will be an individual conductor. If you go for number of turns, because it is single layer. If you go number of turns, okay, number of turns into this conductor height, then what will get? Will get the height of the field winding. Okay, number of turns into the height of the individual conductor. Height of the conductor, what you get? You get the height of the field winding. Okay. Height occupied by the conductor, this is 2.15 mm. So height of the field winding is nothing but TF. TF is number of turns into 2.15. 2.15 is nothing but your height of the conductor. TF into 2.15, 10 power minus 3 is equation 2. This is what? Height of the field winding. Once you got height of the field winding, substitute HF in equation 1. is substitute for HF. HF is equal to what? TF into 2.15. Substitute in equation 1, then calculate what? Calculate TF. So this will be a quadratic equation and find out the roots and you'll get what? Number of turns in field winding TF is equal to 91. Once you got this TF is equal to 91, you can calculate what? You can calculate the height of the field winding. What you got height of the field winding? 196 mm. So height of the field winding will be what? Height of the field winding will be 196 mm. This height means here. After this flange, up to here, it will be what? 196 mm. In between that, there will be insulation of what? Insulation of 0.15. Means this is single layer. This here we got 3 layers, but single layer. After that 2 mm, there will be a insulation of what? 0.15. Okay. This is what a solution for this problem where you have to find out the HF. Very important one from AK-Sun. Okay. Okay. This I taken from Mittal book. This problem I have taken from Mittal book. Let us solve this problem. Design a field coil of 3-phase 16 poles 50 Hz silent pole alternator based on the following information. Okay. Design field coil means all those things you have to calculate number of turns, what is the field current, and what is the loss, all those things, then what is the cross-sectional area of the conductor. Those things you have to calculate. Diameter of the stator at the air gap surface, diameter of the stator. Diameter of the stator, it is given as what? 1 meter. Diameter of stator means your stator bore, 1 meter. Cross length of stator core. Cross length of stator core is equal to 0.3 meter. Cross length of stator core. Okay, something what? This is the diameter, cross length will be 0.3 meter. Section of pole body. Section of pole body is something about what? 0.15 meter into 0.3 meter. If you take this as section of pole body, this is something about width. This is nothing but length of the pole. Normally, the length of the pole will be equal to the length of the stator pole. If you remember, when we solve the problem in synchronous machine, the length of the pole L will be equal to what? It will be length of the stator pole. It will be length of stator pole. Okay. So the cross length of stator pole is 0.3. And pole section of pole body is 0.15. Nothing but what? Width is 0.15. This will be what? 0.3. You can see here. Gross length of stator core is 0.3 and even the length of pole body is also 0.3. That means that the length of the pole will be equal to the length of the stator pole, 0.3. The height of the pole is 0.15. The height of the pole means from here to here. They given us what? 0.15 meter. Total height, including everything. Height of the pole, 0.15. Ampere turns 6500 and exciter voltage they give 110 volt. Assume suitable data wherever necessary. Okay, this problem I have taken from Mittal. Once they ask this problem. Okay. Now first let us calculate what? Cross section area of the conductor. Cross section area of the conductor means this part. What is the cross section area of the conductor? We try to calculate. So voltage across each field winding EF 0.85 into BE divided by P. Okay, 15% is loss is what is wasted due to power loss in the field winding. So available voltage will be what? 85% of your exciter voltage. 0.85 into VA, 0.85 into 110 is what is the exciter voltage here? 110 divided by 60. But I got 5.84. So I am round up to 6. Depth of field winding is not given. They are given what? Assume suitable data wherever necessary. Depth of the field winding DF means this is the DF. Depth of field winding this is DF. Okay, not given. We assume. And while doing design, we are told that the depth will be around 0.03 meter to 0.05 meter. Once again, it depends upon the pole pitch. Okay, 0.03 we assume. Insulation of the pole. The insulation of the pole TA is equal to what? 0.01 meter. So normally, if you have a pole here, there will be insulation. If you place a pole here, if there is a pole, there will be what? There will be insulation here. So surrounding there will be insulation. That is TI 0.01 meter assume. Okay. Calculate length of minter. Length of minter in the same formula here, 2 into LP plus BP plus 4TI plus 5 into TF. What I teach earlier, 2 into LP plus BP plus 4TI 5 into TF. Substitute here, LP is given. Length of the pole. What is the length of the pole here? 0.3. Width of the pole, think what? 0.15. Okay. 4TI. TI assumed here 0.01 into pi into TF. Depth of the field winding assume 0.03. What I got? Length of minter 1.05 meter. Once you find out length of minter, I can calculate what? I can calculate the section area of the conductor. A is equal to rho LMT, TF, IF, EF. So substitute here 0.02 1.05 into 6500 into 6. So what you got here 23.88 mm square. If you come here, this is nothing but what 23 point. This cross section area will be what 23.88 mm square. Okay, this is a cross section. So normally, if you take a bare copper strip, it will be of standard size. Okay, for all the cross section area will not get it. Okay, all the copper strip. If you go for, if you see this copper strip, okay, this is used for larger rating machine. There will be standard size. For all sizes, will not get it. What standard size means thickness will be this much and width will be this much. Don't worry about length. You worry about width and thickness. It will be of standard size. It will not be of all the values. It will be of standard size. So based on this 23.88, we have taken what? We have taken the standard size. The size of the conductor. The standard size of the conductor will be what? 14 mm. 14 mm into 1.7. 14 mm means the 14 will be what? 14 will be a width. 14 mm will be a width, and height will be what? Height will be your 1.7. Height will be 1.7. Width will be 14 mm. So if you multiply 14 mm into 1.7, what you get? You will get 23.88. You can see here. Cross section area will be what? 23.88. 14 width wise, 1.7 height wise. Insulation over the conductor. So that is a bare conductor. We will assume what? We will assume the insulation. 0.5 mm is assumed. So here you add width wise. You add 14.5 mm. Means width wise. Here you add width wise. You have this is nothing but what? For the bare conductor, you are going to do insulation. Width wise 0.5 mm. Likewise, height wise, you had 2.3. Means you're going to add insulation here, width wise and height wise. See, if you had 0.5, 14.5 mm into 2.3 mm. Okay, so 14.5 you add here. If you had 0.5, you add 0.5. It will become 14.5 and 2.3 mm. And insulation between the layer means 2 mm. See here, this is one layer. After that, we will have one more layer. So after that we have one more layer. See, here if you go for one layer and use some insulation, then you go for another layer. So here you can go back. This is one layer. Here if you see, this is 3-layer winding. So after each layer we'll have what? We'll have some insulation. Insulation means what? Along with that conductor insulation, with respect to width wise and depth wise, with respect to width wise and height wise, also we'll have after each layer we'll have what? We'll have an insulation. It is insulation is similar to what like paper or some other things they'll put. Okay, here. Okay, it will be almost paper insulation they'll put after each layer. Okay, after each layer, what you are going to assume that insulation between the layer 2 mm will be assumed. Next, the size of the insulated conductor suggests that the winding can be adjusted in 2 layers. So based on this size of the conductor, it is assumed that whatever the length of the winding you get, it can be adjusted in 2 layers. Whatever the length, based on this size of the conductor, whatever the length you will get it, that can be adjusted with the 2 layers. You go for 2 layers winding. Okay. If you go for 2 layers winding, then what is the actual depth? If you go for 2 layers winding means, so we have done that depth of the water, the depth of the conductor. If you go back to the depth of the conductor is almost now, it is nothing but your 14 mm plus 0.5 means 14.5. So this will be 14.5. Okay, you go for 2 layers, means this is 14.5. Then we have insulation between the layer, then we go what? 14.5. So if you see here, if you understand here, once again I'll tell you. Okay, this is 14.5. This here, you go for 2 layers. This is 14.5, and we'll have some insulation up for 2 mm. And once again, you'll go for 14.5. 2 layers only you're going to do. So if you calculate total depth, 14.5 plus 2 mm between the layers plus 14.5, what you get? 31 mm. Means the total depth here. Here it is 3 layers. If you take for 2 layers, the total depth will be around 31 mm. How do you got? 14.5 plus 2 mm for insulation between the layers plus 14.5. So total depth will be 31 mm. So after finding out the depth, then you can calculate what? You can calculate the field current. Okay, this is the actual depth of the winding. So field current IF can calculate AF into DF. So AF already calculated here. Density is Q1. You can calculate what? Field current. Now, number of turns. TF is equal to what? ATF by IF. IF. So IF is what now? 72 amperes, 16,500. Ampere is given the problem, divided by 72. What we got? 90 turns. Total length of the total number of turns will be what? 90 turns. So we have decided that based on this conductor size, we'll go for a 2-layer winding. So we'll divide this by 2. So 45 tons for one layer, another 45 tons for other layer. So total 80 tons will go for 2 layers. Okay. Now arrangement of tons. As decided above, winding is arranged in 2 layers, making the depth of the winding as 31 mm, which is quite satisfactory. This shows that 45 tons are arranged along the height of field winding with insulated conductor, dimension of 2.3 mm. Okay, that will work out to 2.3 mm. Go back to this figure. So here we go for 2 layer. We'll do what? We'll do 45 tons from here to here. This height of the field winding. Height of the field winding. We go for what? We'll go for 45 tons for total height. How much will be the height? We'll go for 45 tons. Then we have insulation between the layers. Then another 45 tons will go. So that will give your depth and how much height it will occupy. You go for 45 tons, then that will be what? That will be your height of the field winding. Like that, you'll go for what? You'll go for another layer. 2 layers will go it. Okay, 2 layers will do the winding. Double layer winding. Okay. So this shows that 45 tons are arranged along the height and the field coil with insulated conductor dimension of 2.3 mm. So is the height of the field coil. The height of the field coil will be what? 45 into 2.3. So 45 tons. So you know that here what you got? A TF. So number of tons is 45. Multiply by the height. Height will be how much? Height will be what? 2.3. So 45 into 2.3. That will give what? That will give your HF. HF is equal to what? That will give your HF, number of turns into height. I think these things we are solving first problem. If we go back to the first problem, you can see here HF. HF is nothing but what? TF into height of the conductor. So HF is equal to turns, number of turns into height. What you get now? 103.5. So the height of the field coil is what? 103.5. As the height of the pole is what? As the height of the pole is 150 mm. Total height of the pole, if you go back to the figure, total height of the pole will be what? 150 mm. But winding available is how much? Here, winding available space for winding 103.5 mm. The remaining what which is left, 150 minus 103.5 mm. The remaining is left for what? You can minus the pole shoe. You can minus this. You can minus this pole shoe. You can minus this flange. You can minus this minus this spool. All those things you can minus. The remaining term, will be what? Will be around 103.5 mm. Will be only for what? Height of the field coil. Okay. Total height of the pole is 150 mm. From that you minus height of the pole shoe. You minus flanges. You minus spool. The remaining what is left will be what? 103.5. That is will be left for to do the winding of field coil. Okay. As height of the pole is 150 mm, the arrangement of winding is quite satisfactory. So 150 is there. With that 150, we can what? We can systematically you can do what? The height of the field coil with the 103 mm. With that we can do what? We can do the winding. Okay. Resistance of field coil, RF is equal to rho TF LMTF by AF. Substitute all we know the values, substitute here, you get the resistance. Once you know the resistance, calculate the field copper loss. It will be around 430 volt. So this is with respect to what? This is with respect to one particular coil. Since we have 16 poles, we have 16 coils, field coils. Total copper loss 430 into 16, 6.88 kilowatt. Okay. This is what the solution for second problem. This problem I have taken from Mittal book. Okay, these are the two problems. If you go through these two problems, I think suppose if they give any other problem, you can do it. Normally, rarely the last from field winding of a synchronous machine. Now, procedure is very much important one. The design procedure is very much important one. Just go through. Okay. Okay. With this, just complete.